Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going back to early 1990s New York City.
Right?
We're looking into a gang called the Jheri Curls.
Yeah, that name definitely stands out, like the hairstyle.
Exactly like the hairstyle. So
Mhm.
our info comes mainly from a Wikipedia entry, and it points to a Village Voice article from back then.
Okay.
And the idea here is really to get past that, well, kind of quirky name,
Hmm.
understand how they worked, why they got so notorious, and just what kind of impact they had.
It's interesting right off the bat, that contrast. The name sounds almost, I don't know, lighthearted. But the reality was anything but.
Totally. Makes you wonder if that was, like, deliberate. A way to fly under the radar, maybe.
Could be. So where did they start?
Okay, so early 90s,
What?
Washington Heights, Manhattan. It was formed by the Martinez brothers, who were Dominican.
Got it. And this wasn't just like street level stuff.
No, not at all. We're talking major cocaine trafficking. That was their main thing.
A big operation then.
Huge. They basically ran their distribution out of an apartment complex, West 157th Street in Riverside Drive.
Wow. And pulling in serious money, I assume.
Millions a year, according to the sources. Enough for the brothers to live pretty comfortably out in Queens.
Right. And one of them, Rafael, was even buying property back in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, investing the profits.
Yeah.
So a serious, organized operation.
Which, again, makes that name, the Jheri Curls, just so odd.
It really is ironic.
Mhm.
Because the sources are clear they were feared, known for, extreme violence.
Yeah, definitely not messing around. Is there a specific example that stands out?
Well, there's one pretty chilling story about Rafael Martinez. Apparently, he shot his girlfriend in the kneecap
Just like that. Why?
because she reportedly mocked his limp.
Wow. Okay, that paints a picture. Ruthless.
Definitely sends a message about who they were. So things were going their way for a bit, but then something happened, right? A specific event that sort of triggered their downfall.
Absolutely. It centers around a man named Jose Reyes.
Okay, who was he?
He was a 67-year-old resident in the same building they use as their base, a retired city employee.
And he got involved somehow.
He did. He apparently confronted the gang about what they were doing. And crucially, he started cooperating with the police, helping them out.
That's incredibly brave, but dangerous.
Extremely.
Mm.
And tragically, it cost him his life.
Oh, no.
Yeah, May 23rd, 1991, broad daylight, right outside a bank, he was shot and killed.
Just murdered for trying to help clean up his building.
Exactly. And killing this ordinary citizen, this senior citizen who was helping law enforcement, that really shifted things.
The police must have really ramped things up then.
Oh, yeah. Much more scrutiny. They managed to get undercover officers inside the operation.
Infiltrated the Jheri Curls.
Mm-hmm. And it all came down in October 1991. Rafael Martinez, his brothers Lorenzo, Julian, Daniel, Cesar, and a bunch of other gang members were arrested.
On what kind of charges? Related to the cocaine mostly.
Primarily, yes, charges linked to the drug operation.
And the sentences reflected the seriousness of it all.
Very much so. Rafael Martinez got, get this, 213 years in prison.
213 years. That's basically life multiple times over.
Pretty much sends a message, but interestingly, about the murder of Jose Reyes.
What about it?
Well, even though there was a trial, no one was ever actually convicted for his murder.
Really? Despite him being killed for cooperating, that's surprising.
It is. The charges that stuck were related to the narcotics enterprise.
Okay, so zooming out a bit, the Jheri Curls weren't the only gang like this operating at the time, were they?
No, definitely not. This was happening during a period when the NYPD was cracking down hard on several violent Dominican gangs in the city.
Like who? Any other notable names?
Yeah, you had groups like the Wild Cowboys, the Young Talented Children, or YCC. The Jheri Curls were part of that whole violent drug scene that law enforcement was targeting.
Right, so it was part of a bigger picture, a larger cleanup effort.
Exactly. Their takedown was significant, but it fit into this broader strategy.
Okay, so let's sort of wrap this up. Key takeaways here.
Well, you've got this gang with a name that sounds almost like a joke.
The Jheri Curls.
Yeah.
But behind that name was a really large-scale violent cocaine operation running out of Washington Heights in the early 90s.
And ultimately, it was their violence, specifically the murder of concerned citizen Jose Reyes, that brought the hammer down.
Right. His bravery, confronting them and helping the police, led directly to that increased pressure and their eventual arrests and long sentences.
It really shows how, a detail like a name can completely hide a much darker reality.
Definitely. And it also makes you think about the impact one person can have. Jose Reyes stood up, and it triggered a major response.
Yeah. It's a powerful reminder about maybe not judging things just by their surface appearance, and how sometimes it's that community level action, that one person being brave enough, that really makes a difference.
Something to think about for sure.
Definitely food for thought. Thanks for digging into this one with us today.